Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. There was one young boy. He used to bring his mother for my talks. He will drop her and then go away to some coffee shop, etc. Come back, pick her up and go. But he will never come for the satsang. One day it so happened, the satsang was over and I was standing along with his mother because he had not come. He was late. Then when he came, his mother introduced me, Swami, he is my son. Every day he brings me here and every day he takes me back. So I told him, hey man, congratulations. Rare are the sons like you who serve the mother like this. Keep it up. Then he felt little comfortable. If you want to please anybody in this world, first praise. This is what we do when we come to the temple. Isn't it? Karunavataram, samsarasaram, bhujagetraram. What is this thing? Nothing but applying butter. So if you want to please anybody, go on praising. You are so nice people. Immediately changes. So this technique I used on him. Then he said, Swamiji, thank you very much, but I have got a question. So he said, I bring my mother here, but to be very frank with you, I have no faith in God. So I told him, come nearer me. He came. In his ears I told him, I also don't have faith in God. And he was so shocked. Normally, what he must have been expecting, no beta, you should have faith in God. No. The simplest way to disagree with anybody is to agree immediately. So when I said like this thing, he has nothing to say further. Because discussions can go if you disagree. See? Therefore, between husband and wife, if you want to maintain the real silence, anything the husband says, yes, say yes without listening. And anything the wife says, say yes without complying. That's it. Your life will be happy. So, he had nothing to say further. Suppose I had said, why don't you have faith in God? Then he will start argument, discussion. It has no end. So when he kept quiet, then I told him, do you know why you don't have faith? Why I don't have faith? Reason is the same. For example, if I ask you, do you know the distance between Earth and the Sun? I think I may Google and tell you. But if I ask you a question, are you there or not? Will you say, I will think whether I am there or not? No. When you know, you don't require faith. If you don't know, then you require faith. See? And when the faith operates in the field of ignorance, therefore, faith is called as blind faith. And faith has to be blind. If it is known, faith is not required. See, when a stick is in the hand, you have to be lame, then only the stick is in the hand. See, friends. Therefore, faith is always blind. And why we don't require faith in the area for ourselves? Because we don't have doubt whether I am or I am not. But about the God we have doubt. Then what do? We go and ask somebody. And to whom we ask? In whom we have faith. See, once Ramakrishna Paramahamsa called his disciple Vivekananda, then Narendra Ghosh. And when he was called, his young college boy, he said, "Oh Guru Maharaj, you are attached to me. You are calling yourself. Are you getting attached to me?" So the great master said, "My dear friend, you accept me out of doubt, suspicion and faith. You don't know who am I, you don't know what I am, and yet you are accepting me. But I accept you not out of faith, because I know what you are." See, friends. Therefore, if it is the field of ignorance, faith is blind, and that blind faith alone has got the strength. And if our faith fails, understand, we were not having full faith. It was a doubtful attempt. See, many people come across this experience. They go to some Babaji with all faith, according to them, and they get cheated. Then they say, "We have lost faith." We lose faith if we do not learn from our experience. And one most important thing, faith in God is equal to that wherever we have failed, that failure is because we have not learned from our experience. If you learn from your experience, every failure is a success. See, as a child, when we have touched the fire, we got burnt. Now from that experience we have learned. And therefore, burning by the fire in the childhood was not a failure, because we have learned. In the same manner, when we learn from our experiences in life, then every experience is our guru. Now I may speak sweet with the sweet in the mouth. So every experience is our guru, and thus we start learning from every interaction with the world, with the people, and with the Mahatmas or the Gurus. Because who is a Guru? Guru is the one from whom we learn. And if we refuse to learn, like Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan, Dushasan, refuse to learn from Bhagavan Krishna, we may call him Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum, etc. Duryodhan, Dushasan. So in the relationship of Guru and Shishya, it is the disciple who is important and not the Guru. And the strength of this disciple is in his faith. See, friends, if the disciple has real faith in the Guru will change according to the requirement of the disciple. See, friends. But then we, instead of having utter faith in the scriptures, utter faith in the God, utter faith in the Guru, and utter faith in oneself, we move in this world with a doubtful condition. And therefore, the failure is the result. Therefore, friends, When we talk on faith, now is faith an object? Like garland is an object. Is faith an object? What do we mean by faith? And what is the locus where faith is living? See, in Bhagavad Gita there is one shlok, you all know that. Halfway. The shlok is Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada dharmasya glanir bhavati. When the dharma deteriorates. Now is dharma like milk which gets spoiled after some time? See, dharma cannot deteriorate. It is something like Gangaji has become sinful. Why? Many sinners, they go and take bath in Gangaji and therefore Gangaji is full of sin? No. See? Or it is like the fire. One of the name of the fire is Pavaka, purifier. So in that fire, if you put all dirt and filth, will that fire become impure? In the same manner, there cannot be glani, fall in dharma. And yet when the Lord says, Yada yadahi dharmasya glanir bhavati, what exactly it means? See, we all have certain values in our life. What are those values? If, see, nahi kalyana krut kaschit durgatim tata gacchati, is one value given to us by Gita. If you are good, that goodness will not go waste. But if we start thinking, oh, you are good will all the good people suffer in this world and the criminals, they enjoy life. One elderly lady from a very sophisticated political family in Bombay asked me this question. We were sitting after the satsang was over. Swamiji, I have got some question. So before I could say yes, she was introduced to me by the organizers. Swamiji, she is the daughter of such and such person who is the governor of West Bengal. So, she is a very important, respected person. Governor's daughter. So, I said, yes, Mama, please ask. Then she asked this question. Why in this world good people suffer and bad people prosper? I said, Mama, forget about the world. You tell me about you. You are suffering or enjoying. No, Swamiji, by God's grace, I am comfortable. Did you get the answer? If you have faith in Bhagavad Gita, good people never, the goodness never goes waste. Then only you will stick to goodness. But if we start doubting, meaning we have no faith in what Gita says, then dharmasya glanir bhavati. That is called as the glani, the fall of dharma. Because dharma is not an object. It is a value respected in your heart, in your mind. And if these values are doubted by us, no, in this world, goodness never helps. You should cheat. You may win once or twice. Third time, you will be destroyed. See, it is something like, when you are driving the car, we are supposed to follow the rules. The rules are meant for the goodness of all. But we see the other side road is free. So why not take that way? Once you may go, twice you may get, third time you may get ticket, and fourth time your ticket will be cut straight up. See, therefore, dharma as is in our heart, so is the faith is also in our heart. Where faith is, no doubts can come. And when there are no doubts, there is no misery in life. Again, Bhagavad Gita says, Samshayatma vinashyati. See, friends. Therefore, faith is inner strength. It is not a weakness. Now, faith in what? Like, ignorance. Ignorance is not an object. Ignorance of mathematics, ignorance of physics, ignorance of Gita, ignorance of. Similarly, faith in what? So there are 4 areas where faith is essential for a fruitful culmination and fulfillment of our life. 4 places. Place number 1, faith in God. Most important. If we do not have faith in God, we are cheating ourselves. Second place, faith in our Gita or Upanishad. If we start doubting, I can tell you doubts about Gita. But that is not going to help us. Like many people have got this funny notion. One girl in Bengal, after my lecture, she came, a young girl, very smart. Swamiji, I am doing PhD on Gita and I had discovered some new things. Because according to my research, and what is research today? Go to Google, copy paste, and claim that is your creation. I think what is theft? The highest well-read, educated, well-informed person, if somebody is in this world, he is Googalaranda Maharaj. Ask him anything, he can. I am, born with a, blessed with a child, and the child is a girl. What name should I take? We don't go to the temple. We don't ask our elders. We go to Google. Now the child is born on such and such day. What should be the name? The Google tells. Search in 0.2 seconds, 293 million names, and you get confused. So, she was doing PhD on Gita. Good. So, according to me, there are some interpolations. Interpolations means somebody has introduced verses which were not there originally. Okay? Then, because some of the verses have no meaning, they are meaningless. When she said like this, I told, I agree with you. Is it not verse number 4 and 5 from chapter 9? You know that? I said, yes, I know that. Don't you agree with me? I said, I used to agree with you. Not now. Because you tell me what is the meaning of that, those 2 verses. Those 2 verses are Maya tatavidam sarvam jagadavaktamurtina Masthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avastitah nacha masthani bhutani pashyami yogamaishwaram bhuta brunnacha bhutastaha mamatma bhuta bhavana. These are the 2 verses. The meaning is me, the formless, support the total world of names and forms. And therefore, all the forms are in me, but I am not in them. And to be very frank, neither they are in me, nor I am in them. All contradictions. And therefore, it doesn't carry any meaning. And therefore, I don't have faith in all the words of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, I have taken this for studies and discovered these are interpolations, meaningless. See? Then I said, have you studied the Bhashya written by Bhagavan Shankaracharya? Why should I study? Because I am doing PhD. He was not even a matriculate. During his time, education was not there. Now we are educated. Talking few words in English and Sanskrit here and there, and we become educated. Therefore, faith in the scriptures. Second thing, faith in what the teacher Acharya tells. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, what is faith? Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharana Sa Shraddha, faith, Kathita Sadbihi, by the wise people, Yaya Vastu Upalabhyate, by which, on the strength of which, the truth is revealed. So what is said in the scriptures should not be studied independently. See, one of the most important thing in the spiritual life, Tad Vijnanatham Guru Meva Vigachet Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. To know the truth, approach the wise teacher who is Shrotriya Brahmanishta, well read in scriptures and abiding in the truth. The one who is well read in the scriptures and abiding in the truth, he will never go for sale of Brahma Vidya. Wherever money is involved in satsanga, it is money sangha. It is not satsanga. One of the most important factor of life. See, therefore, to know the truth, go to the teacher who is well versed in the scriptures and who is abiding in that nature and that truth. So, Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharana. So what is faith? What is said in our scriptures, what is taught by the teacher Acharya, how that is right. This positive approach in understanding the import of the scripture, this positive approach is called as faith or Shraddha. Not the other way around. I don't believe in God. One person asked me this question, young boy, Swamiji, have you seen God? So I told him, why should I tell you? No, I want to know. I said, you may want to know. I am not obliged to tell you. No, similar question was asked by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa by Vivekananda. Therefore I ask you this question. I said, you may be Vivekananda, I am not Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. See, friends. So when we ask this question, what exactly we mean? See, I told him, I said, forget about God, I ask you a question. You reply my question. That will be the answer to your question. Yes. I asked him, have you seen your eyes? Of course, yes. I said, tell me how they are and show me how you see your eyes. So he got a mirror, he said, I can see my eyes. I said, hey, you are very intelligent. Now put the kajal in those eyes which you are seeing. What you see in the mirror is the reflection of the eyes, not your eyes. When you can't see your own eyes and you talk about seeing God. So when we say the vision of God, what does it mean? See, like every field has their own vocabulary. Similarly, scriptures have their own vocabulary. But we want to use our local vocabulary for understanding the import of the scriptures. Like, one child sent me an SMS. Swamiji, why Lord Shiva and Parvati could not learn computer? So I sent him a reply. I don't know. So he sent me back. Because Ganeshji took away the mouse. Now tell me, the word mouse is the same, spelling is the same, spelling is not different, but the import of that word in English language, and in computer science is differently written out. In the same manner, when we learn from the scriptures vision of God, we use the same dumb understanding. As I am seeing you as someone other than me, in the same way, I want to see God someone other than me. See? And then to play gimmick on this, then people say, you come, I will give vision of God. And after making food for sufficient time, creating a high, and then press your this Madhya, Guru Madhya, and you will have the vision of light. And have you seen that? That was God. Next. See, friends, that experience which does not begin, does not modify, and does not end is God. See? Find out now. Don't go anywhere. The experience which does not begin is our presence. We don't have the experience of our birth. The experience which doesn't modify. We don't have the experience that we are growing. When someone else for the first time addresses us as auntie and uncle, that was the first shock in life. The second shock is when somebody addresses us, Dadaji, Aja Baba, then the second shock gets in life. Because, like or Neeraj Bhai was telling me, Swamiji, I don't feel I am old. I said, this is a tragedy for the younger generation. Old people must experience that they are old and accept it. But it is not their fault. When they say I, they are referring to that unchanging reality and also holding on to the body. This confusion is called as ego. So we neither have the experience of our birth, experience of our growth, and experience of our death, and ultimately the experience of our absence. That is God. With this, if you analyze your own experience, and when will you analyze this experience? If you have faith in the scriptures and what the teacher is telling you. With faith alone we can take up the line. If we don't have, we will not take up that line. See? Like in Kerala it happened. I was going with my friend and we didn't know the house exactly. So in Kerala, students going in the school, college, they know English very well. So we stopped, one girl was going around. I said, hey, how are you? She looked at me. Yes. See, we have to go to such and such house. Do you know? Yes. Can you show us? Yes, I can show you. Then, no, I can sit in the car, I can take you. So it's very good. She sat in the car. We went to crosses, then take right. Then we went another 3 crosses, take left. Then 1 cross, right. Stop here. Stop. She said, this is my house. Now you go back where from you have come and ask somebody. Now tell me, if I had known that that girl is cheating me, will I ever give her a lift? We can proceed in any direction only if we have blind faith. See, friends, in the same manner, when our scriptures tell that God realization is not excitement, it is not becoming someone special. On the contrary, losing all specialities. And when we lose all specialities, we come back to our original form, non-specific existence. God realization is not becoming someone extraordinary than others, no. Leaving all the extra fat and coming to normal, ordinary. Do we have less burden on our head? I am man, I am woman, I am young, I am old, I am rich, I am poor, I am beautiful, I am awful, I am educated, I am overeducated. In addition to that, I am spiritual. When we lose all the specialities, what we do in deep sleep? Deep sleep, we leave everything. Tatra mata amata bhavati. Tatra pita apita bhavati. In deep sleep, we are neither mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife. We are none. And when we are nobody, then alone we experience absolute bliss. That uncreated, eternal presence is our essential nature. And this is told to us by our scriptures. See, our scriptures are not written by human mind. They are not created in the history of humanity. They are revealed. There used to be a great master from whom I learned everything. There is one temple in Kanpur in UP in India, and a very big temple was constructed by JKs, big group of industries. And then they have a huge welcome gate just before you enter the area. So they asked him, Swamiji Maharaj, what should we write on the top of that gate that we will write? So he said, I'll tell you tomorrow. And he slept. Next day when he got up, he told his disciple, write down one shlok. And he dictated one shlok. He said, put it there. Then those people asked, Maharaj, this shlok is from where? What is the meaning? He told the meaning. What is the reference? He said, I don't know. Then where from you got it? Oh, last night when I slept, this shloka came in front of my eyes. I did not write it. I don't know the source. This is the meaning of the word Rishi. Rishayaha mantra drashtranaha. It is not a human creation. And therefore, what is said in our Upanishad, what is said in our scriptures, Gita, don't take it just a intellectual purgation of somebody. No. It is revealed knowledge. Knowledge is already there. It was not revealed. See? Therefore, faith in the scriptures, because if you don't know, accept. And then only you will proceed ahead. Thinking or action without faith is destructive. Thinking and action with faith is constructive. For example, in Kathopanishad this thought comes. The story goes, there was one young boy, 8-9 years of age, and his father was a great Dharmatma, and he wanted to give up everything. Sarvamed yajna. Ushan havai vare sharvasaha sarvamedasam dadau. Tasya ha nama Nachiketa nama putrahas. So he was a great Dharmatma and he wanted to give away everything. So what he did? He divided his property in the form of cattle, those days, into 3 groups. The mediocre he gave to the wife. The best one he gave to his son, Nachiketa. And the dilapidated, undying but ready to die cows he kept in his, part. This is my property. Then he decided, let me do the charity. And in that charity, he can give away only his things. So best cows and the mediocre cows were kept for the son and the wife, and the dilapidated cows were given and in charity. Like when we give to a beggar or to the temple, we will take out the most dilapidated note which may be torn. Slowly. Charity over. In the same manner, when he did like this, the child started thinking. Shraddha avivesha. When he saw Dakshinasuniya Manasuni, when he saw these dilapidated cows are being given as charity to the Brahmins, he felt very bad. Ananda namate loka tansa gacchati tadad. He is giving this kind of charity, this will take him to a miserable world, not the heavens. Having known this, Shraddha avivesha, he was overpowered by faith. What is the faith? Faith is a constructive energy. It is not a destructive energy. Then how can I rectify this? Then he remembered, son is the property of the father. The first right on us is that of our parents. First right. Then he asked, Dad, to whom will you give me? Tat kasmai mam dasyasiti. Because I am your property, you are giving your property in charity. To whom will you give me? Dvitiyam, Tritiyam. When first time it was asked, the father looked at him, teaching. Dvitiyam, again he asked, Dad, to whom will you give me? Dad didn't reply. Again, come on Dad, I am your property, to whom will you give me? And when answers are not available, fathers become angry. So he said, Vrittivetva dadamiti, to the death I give you. Don't we say, Marja? Anger. And the child, Shraddha avivesha, he was overpowered by faith. He said, okay Dad, thank you very much. And he walks to the gateway of death. So when he is walking, then the father again says, no beta, I don't mean that, don't become angry. He said, no Dad, I am not angry. You are sankalpabandha. You have taken a sankalpa. And whatever you say at this moment must be fulfilled. Otherwise, one after another sins you are creating. And Putra is the one who is responsible for the welfare of the parents. Therefore, even if it means that I have to sacrifice my life, it is worth, then only I am your real son. See, Shraddha avivesha. Therefore, friends, Shraddha is a positive quality. It is the most important inner strength by which we can walk the spiritual path. When we have Shraddha, we don't survive on securities. See, those who are all the time insecure, the only reason is they don't have faith in God. All the time doubtful. No. So, Shraddha in the divine design, every event of our life is meant for our spiritual evolution. It is something like, a father looks at the child. The child is interested in that small little thing for that shorter period of life. But the father looks at the child from the totality of his life. If at this age the child is not disciplined, in his whole life he will be a burden to himself. Therefore, it is necessary to discipline him, even at the cost of taking the curse from his own son. Because the child is having a limited vision of that small temporary event of his life. But a father is not looking at that event of his life, but a father is looking at the totality. Scriptures do not take care of one event of this life. According to the scriptures, we existed earlier, we are now, we go ahead. That is the approach of the scriptures. One example will make it clear. One of my friend, he was a police inspector, big one, nice one, about 40, 45, early 40s. His wife, very sweet, about 38, 39. They had 3 children. The whole family was extremely close to me. And one day it so happened, this police officer came, he had some hotel also. He came from the hotel, morning 4 o'clock, got out of the rickshaw, auto rickshaw, and as he was to enter his house, just in front of the house, he fell on his face, a massive heart attack, and over. Now that time, when people go for morning walk, they saw, looks to be a nice person, how can he lie like this thing? So they went and saw. And he is the owner of the house, so they rang the bell. The wife comes out and sees the dead body. Naturally, you can imagine what must she has gone through. And when I came to know, I went to see them, and the son was so angry. Dad was so close to you, why should he die? This is God's, I don't have faith in God, they're useless, nothing like that. I'm very angry. So that time there is no point in talking to such person, you have to simply listen. Let him went out. Then I said, hey, I will come back again. Now let us finish this rites, I will answer all your questions. Okay, not now. Everything was over. After about a month or 2, I went to see them. I said, now you ask me a question. Tell what is your problem? What problem? We don't know. Now what will happen to me? My mother, my 2 sisters. How can we survive in this world? I said, go on talking, I'll answer all your questions. No, this is the main thing I want to ask you. I said, look here. From your statement, I am concluding. You have not uttered one single word about your father. You are concerned about yourself, your mother, because you are stinkingly selfish. If you really love your father, you should not talk about him. You don't have love for your father. You are so selfish. Now what will happen to me? If he has died and gone, have you ever thought what has happened to him? Think. No, I didn't think. I said, now I'll tell you. What will be the vision you will have in your mind about your father? A young, healthy man. Is it not? This vision is better, or vision of Mahatma Gandhi with a danda in the hand. What vision is better? And second thing, if your father was transferred from Bombay to Delhi in a higher position at a national level, in that promotion, you will feel bad or good? Of course good. When the promotion in this world should make you feel good, he is promoted on the evolution scale, on the spiritual path. Where is the loss? Oh, I never thought about it. See, friends, if we have this faith, our life doesn't end with death. It is a process of evolution. When the childhood died, then the teenage came. When the teenage died, then the middle age came. When the middle age died, the old age came. When the old age will go, we continue. Who has died? Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namuyati. Bhagavad Gita says, as we go through so many bodies, in the same manner, when this body is discarded, another body comes. Where is the place for death and fear? Friends, therefore, Shraddha is inner strength. And with the Shraddha, when you walk your life, you will never be miserable in life. See? So, first Shraddha in the scriptures. Second, Shraddha in what the teacher tells. If the teacher is bargaining spiritual knowledge, beware. It is free. Simply chanting the mantra and not meaning it is blasphemy. You must have been hearing number of times, Sada Shiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. 25 rands per attendance. Sri Krishna Govinda. See, friends. Therefore, this knowledge has come to us free. It is meant free for everyone. See, friends. Then, Shraddha in the scriptures, God, Shraddha in the teacher, then 3. Then comes to Shraddha in oneself. We can. Many of us have got this funny notion. Swamiji, for we ordinary grihasthas, why you condemn yourself? When we say ordinary grihasthas, do we mean we want some reservation quota? BE policy? Do we want that? GE policy? For realization, if you are a grihastha, then it is a different requirement. You can cut somebody's throat, you can destroy anybody, you can cheat, yet you will be realized. Why? Because GE policy. And those who are spending their whole life in search of the truth, they should have strict rules. No, friends. We have to deserve and not merely desire. See? And the faith in us requires 2 things. First, we have to recognize our wrong notions about ourselves, about the world, about the God, and about the spiritual practice. We all lead a notional life. We have a notion that I am the body. We have a notion this world which is troubling me is terrible. We have a notion God is far above the clouds. I don't know when he is going to come down. And how can we pack the small packets, homeopathic doses of high potency or miseries and deliver without mistake? And the fourth most important thing, what is spiritual practice? See? Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Tavadanam. That is spiritual practice. Or Agre Vanni Prushte Bhanu Ratrau Chupu Samarpita Janu. Torture yourself. That is spiritual practice. Or the third spiritual practice is what is there in the young age. This is the age for enjoyment. Spirituality is for whom? He who cannot hear, he should go to satsang. He who cannot sit properly in one posture, he should sit for meditation. He who doesn't remember anything, Bahu, did you give me food? And she says, you have eaten my head for 10 times since morning. Oh, I have forgotten. Then we want to remember Bhagavad Gita. Meaning, when we are unfit to live in this world, we are fit for spirituality. Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vruddho yati gruhitva dandam tadapina munchati asha pindam. Now you have become old. What, Swamiji? Now I have just got the grandson married. Unless I see his grandson, life is not full. How much we get involved again and again and again. Draw a line. Thus far, not further. Enough of it. But we keep on hanging, and then we complain, God, दुनिया बनाने वाले काहे को दुनिया बनाई? Only to torture you. Therefore, these four notions need to be corrected, and this can be possible only under two conditions. Number one, we must be ready to change ourselves. And second thing, we must be able to change ourselves. See, you must have seen there are many good people in the world, in our society also, good people. As regards the goodness is concerned, no doubt about it. But they are afraid of going to satsanga. One day, one husband was driving the car, and the wife was driving him, and both of them were driving me crazy. So the procession of driving competition was going on, and I was going to their house for a cup of tea, breakfast. So they started talking. The wife said, Swamiji, why there are some people who are very good? No complaint about them, but they don't like to go to satsang. Why there are people like this? Their wife said, husband said, Swamiji, this gun is directed towards me. Because I drop her for the satsang, your satsang, then I go to a coffee house, I enjoy my coffee, I see the news, I read newspaper. After her satsang is over, I come, pick her up, go home. And she always tells me, why don't you come to satsang? So I asked her, did I object to you going there? Did I ask you come with me coffee house? No. Why you insist? You go your way, I go my way. I am not compelling you anything. Therefore, she is asking this question. I said, anyway, as you have never listened to her, don't listen to her. No, but I also want to ask this. Why I don't feel like going to satsang? I have nothing against. Then I told him this question. I said, all of us live a notional life. And toward the end of your life, if you are told all what you have been doing was totally wrong, your life becomes shattered. See? It is something like, there was one movie I saw in India many years before, must be 50 years before. I was small that time. And in that movie it was shown, there was, as usual movies earlier, the Hindu-Muslim riots, and the Hindus came and they were killing the Muslims. And in that family, which was next door to this Hindu family, there was a small baby in a cradle. So when this was happening, this lady went and picked the child, and those people came, did everything, and they thought because this child is in her lap, it must be Hindu child, so it was spared. Now the child grew up, about 18-20 years of age. Another riots broke, and he took the, sword in his hand. I will go and kill those fellows. That time this lady says, Beta, listen, I never told you this thing, today I tell you. You are born Muslim. You are not Hindu. This is what happened, and you are brought up with me. Therefore, everybody thinks that you are my child. Now, go and kill them. See? The whole notion, hatred, everything gets vanished. Therefore, our identity. What is the spiritual practice? Confirming our notions. Are they right or wrong? If our notion is wrong, then I am the body, then spiritual practice is correct your notion. And this, because of this wrong one notion, all other problems are born. After the body identification alone, we are husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, father. And who is miserable in this world? It is only this mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife. They are miserable. So unless we correct this notion, then you find out what are the techniques to be adopted to correct this notion. Then we are walking the spiritual path. See, friends. Therefore, faith in oneself means readiness to recognize our wrong notions. Second thing, readiness to change them. Third thing, ability to change our wrong notions. See, then only spiritual practice is going properly. If you have to take some medicine throughout your life, then it is not a medicine. Medicine is taken for correction, then drop the medicine. And if you have to take medicine throughout your life, then you are suffering from diabetes. See, you have to live with that. Then suffer throughout. Therefore, faith in oneself is the readiness to change one's views about life, and spiritual practice, the ability to change oneself. Both the things. Ability we all have, provided we have the will to change our life. See, friends, we all have lived our life with a firm conviction that I am the body. Now give it a try. Second aspect, what it would be like being other than the body. Now play this second experiment of your life so sincerely as we played the first experiment, then I am the body. Play these two experiments and then draw the conclusions. See, friends, in Panchadashi one story comes, somebody tells a man that your son met with a fatal accident in USA. And this man is very miserable. Oh God, what? He phoned the son. Daytime in India, nighttime in USA. So the son lifted the phone and scolded, Dad, how many times I told you, this is night, midnight, you trouble me. And back the phone. Oh, I am very happy. See, nothing has happened. Only in the imagination. See, therefore, if somebody else dies, we become philosopher. These days, many people are dying. But when our near and dear, oh, the whole world falls on us. And who is near and dear? Only in relation to our body. Therefore, unless the body identification is corrected, spiritual life doesn't begin. In this manner, the scriptures tell us that we are embodied, therefore body's birth and death doesn't touch us, and if we are embodied who we are, then we are told the soul, and then you further inquire what the soul means. And then you come to know we are not Vyakti, we are not individuality, we are not Jiva, we are Jivana, we are life. Like eyes have vision. Vision is not individuality. Ears have hearing ability. It is not individuality. In the same manner, we are all life. Individual bodies may be different, but the life in and through all the bodies is one. When we start living as life, the quality will be different. When we start living as individual, the quality is different. And all this knowledge we can gain if we have faith in the Lord, scriptures, the teacher, and in ourselves. We can do this in very life. We must do it in very life. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva